rules of high value people, 5 through 8. Number 5, don't seek other people's approval. One of the quickest ways to devalue yourself is to seek other people's approval. When you are constantly looking for validation for others, it says that you don't think that you are good enough the way you are, and you are not confident in your own opinions and decisions and your decision-making ability. When you are constantly seeking other people's approval, it also makes you very vulnerable to their opinions and feedback about your life and your decisions. You invite them in if you want to. They feel like they got a right to have an opinion about your life and your decisions. You ever had somebody in your life like that?
28 years.
No, man.
Last 5 was the worst.
Really? The last 5 was the worst?
She said we were losing the house, which the house was already paid for. She was on Social Security.
She just wanted to get you out of it.
Yeah, she said, oh, we're going to get a place in Fort Pierce. You move there first, and I'll move in. And I was like, yeah, whatever. And when she got her money from the city of Fort Pierce, like $3 or $4 million, she put all my clothes at 12A Bowie in garbage bags outside of my job.
Man.
And I had nothing in my name.
And she got like $4 million?
She got hit by the city.
You could have been the problem. We hearing his version of the story. Let's talk about it. The solution, here's the solution. The solution is to start seeking your own approval and to make decisions that are best for you and align with your values and your goals. Do not make decisions about your life that align with somebody else's values and somebody else's goals. It has to be your values and your goals. Be confident in your own abilities and trust that you are making the right decisions for yourself, even if others don't agree with you. That's how you increase your value in the eyes of others. 8 rules of high value people, 5 through 8. Number 6, cut all toxic relationships out of your life. And again, toxic relationships are relationships that bring you more pain than joy. Cut all toxic relationships out of your life. If any person, I don't care how they associated with you, bring you more pain than they bring you joy, drop them like a hot potato. Remember that game, don't y'all?
Yeah.
Toxic relationships are your relationships with others that are draining, one-sided, or hurtful. What I mean by one-sided is you're always doing something for them, and they're not available to do anything for you. Yeah, that's draining. That's one-sided, and that's hurtful. This rule is one that is often hard to follow, but it's very important. Toxic relationships can take a toll on your mental and emotional health, make you doubt yourself, feel bad about yourself, and start to believe the negative things that other people say about you. It's not always easy to cut people off from your life, especially if the person is a family member or someone you have been close to for a long time. The best way to deal with toxic relationships, here's the solution. The best way to deal with toxic relationships is to set boundaries. This means setting limits on how much time you spend with that person, what you will and will not tolerate from that person, and how much of yourself you are willing to give to the relationship. It's also important to have a support system in place when dealing with toxic relationships, because most toxic relationships, particularly relationships, romantic relationships, a toxic person is going to try to cut off all family and friend ties of the other person who they're trying to take advantage of. They want you to fall out with your family. They want you to fall out with your friends because they don't want you to have a support system so they can have you all to themselves. Also important to have a support system in place when dealing with toxic relationships. This can be a group of friends or family members who you can rely on for emotional support. 8 rules of high value people, 5 through 8. Number 7, invest in yourself. Invest in yourself. I remember one time, man, I was sitting in a presentation about cigarette smoking, and they was talking about if the person smoked 1 pack of cigarettes a day and it added up how much money that would be in a year. That was probably about 12 years ago. And cigarettes were a lot cheaper then. I can't imagine how much money you would save if you didn't buy cigarettes for a whole year.
If we didn't smoke 305s at $4, Newport's was like $10.
Yes, I went to smoke with somebody and they was it out.
Right, that's a lot of money.
I got rid of that Newport.
Yeah, but see, the thing is imagine if you had that money to invest in yourself. Because cigarettes is really not an investment in yourself. That's a vice. Invest in yourself. Every high value person knows that the best investment they can make is in themselves. Instead of investing their money in material things, they invest in their own education, development, and growth. Instead of investing in material things, they invest in their own education, development, and growth. Investing in yourself means taking the time to learn new skills, develop your talents, and grow as a person. It means making an effort to become the best version of yourself that you can be. When you invest in yourself, you are increasing your value. When you invest in yourself, you are increasing your value, not just in the eyes of others, but in your own eyes. You are also showing yourself that you are worth the time, effort, and money. 8 rules of a high value person, 5 through 8. Number 8. Wow, we got through that so quick. Number 8, don't settle for less than you deserve. This is an important one, because settling for what you don't deserve becomes a habit. You find yourself doing it all the time. That's why you don't want to ever settle for what you don't deserve. It can be very challenging to realize how much you deserve if you have been settling for less than you deserve for most of your life. Settling is a habit that is often hard to break, but it's very important that you do. When you settle, you're telling yourself that you are not worthy of more or better. The first step to breaking this habit is to become aware of it. Notice when you are settling for less than you deserve in your relationships, your career, and your life in general. The second step is to start setting standards for yourself. Determine what you want and don't settle for anything less than what you want. When you start holding yourself to a higher standard, you will start to see how much you deserve, and people will notice how much you have increased in value. Final thoughts. As you can see, being a high value person is not about being perfect. In fact, every single person on earth is a high value person. That was the whole purpose of doing this. Because we got some fools who want to separate us and say, these people got money, so they're high value. And these people don't have as much money, so they are not. That's a lie. That's the biggest lie in the world, if that's what you believe. How much money you got has nothing to do whether you are a high value person. If you are a human being, you are a high value person. Every single person on earth is a high value person, but the problem is that not everyone realizes it or lives up to their potential. These 8 rules are just a starting point for showing you how valuable you are already. And if you want to get better, then what you want to do is not seek other people's approval. If you want to get better, what you want to do is cut all toxic relationships out of your life. If you want to get better, invest in yourself. And if you want to get better, don't settle for less than you deserve. Because a lot of times we sit around and we're not in a relationship, and we ain't been in a relationship for so long, we start getting lonely. We want a relationship that's up here. But see, we done got lonely, so we settle for somebody that's about right here. Because we know they digging us, we know they like us. And we've been lonely for so long, like, why not? So you settle for that and to hold out for what you deserve. You'd be better off by yourself than to be with somebody who don't know how to talk to you. You'd be better by yourself than to be with somebody who do not know how to treat you as a person or with respect and dignity. Be better off by yourself, and then you can invest and work on yourself. So when you meet the next person, you've elevated yourself for that next relationship. You're not the same person you were in the last relationship that just ended. You want to elevate yourself before you get into the next one. Grow before you get into the next one. Any questions, concerns, or comments? All right, good. All right, y'all.
That's deep.
Huh?
That's deep.
All right, I'm glad you like it, bro.